What do you know about him?
I recruited Christian when he was in high school and know his family for a long time. And obviously he's had a struggle since he's gotten into the NFL, so we're just looking forward to working with him out here.
When you do bring in a quarterback at this stage of training camp, how do you try to expedite their transition?
Well, just like any other player, we got to spend a lot of time once the meetings are over, one-on-one time trying to catch them up. And you try to shrink the playbook for them and make it more of a game plan specific so they can focus on what they need to know for each game.
So often have some discussions with all the quarterbacks, with Spencer Phillips, with Press Taylor. What have your discussions with them been like so far?
We've just kind of exchanged pleasantries, if you will, and been, he was in the meeting last night, and then obviously out here didn't have a lot of time to talk to him, but I'm sure we'll have a lot of time to catch up.
What can you bring to the mix that you don't already have?
Well, we just got to get him out here, and first of all, he's got to learn what to do, and then how we want it done. So at this point, he's got to crawl before he can walk.
Do you look forward to his challenge as a teacher to be able to develop a prospect like this who's gone through some bumps?
We look forward to developing all the players on the roster.
Are you guys taking it easy with Dallas today?
Yeah, we're just monitoring Dallas right now, just making sure that he's good to go. Okay, that he's healed up from the game.
What do you recall about Christian from recruiting him in high school?
Oh, I mean, he's a very highly recruited player. He committed early to Penn State. Bill O'Brien was able to lock him up early. He's got a lot of family from this area, so very highly recruited and very talented player for Coach Schumann at Fork Union.
With some of the veteran receivers taking today off, what do you like out of a guy like Shelton Gibson?
Sheldon made a few plays today. Made a really nice play the other night in the game and scoring a touchdown. So he's got to continue to come out here and work really hard and improve each day.
Heading into the second preseason game against the Patriots, what do you want to see out of this offense that you maybe didn't see against the Steelers?
Well, I thought we did a good job with the first unit the other night. Had a misread in that first series, which obviously we got to get that corrected, and I think Nate understands what that is. And then we get backed up on our second drive. We're able to dig that ball out, and unfortunately stalled out before we were able to get points just out of field goal range. But I thought that was a really positive drive for the ones.
After rewatching the first preseason game, what did you see from Nate that maybe you didn't see live watching it?
I think he settled in the game a little bit. He might have been pressing early, seeing some things that weren't there. But I thought he settled into the game, and he made some good plays.
You have, as someone noted, a bunch of receivers out right now. Do you hope to be able to? These are guys that are going to be expected to play a pretty big role. When do you think you can get some of them back pretty soon?
I'd like to hope so, but it's really up to our training staff and the docs, and obviously how their bodies respond to their injuries.
How well is Michael Groh playing this whole camp? He's been limited by injuries over the years. How well is he done this camp?
I think Wendell's doing a good job of trying to maximize every opportunity that he's got, and that's what you got to do. I mean, we got a crowded room there, and there's a lot of talented people there, so you got to make the most of every opportunity, whether it's with or without the ball.
Mike
Sorry,
Wallace
this is
had,
weird, guys. I mean, I'm kind of
theater in the round.
Yeah, right.
Mike Wallace had a couple of big plays the last few practices. Does it seem like that he's finally acclimating himself to the offense?
It feels that way a little bit. He missed a few days there last week, and missed some of the spring. So I think he's settling in and finding a comfort zone. The quarterbacks are starting to find where he's at and read his body language.
Mike, Pumphrey had been having a good camp until he got dinged up. Hopefully he's going to be back soon.
I can't predict the timetable on when he'll be back, but you're right. It's unfortunate, and it's out of our control, out of his control. He's doing everything he could, and then this happens. So I know he's working hard in the training room to get back.
What's the challenge going to be for these quarterbacks to get timing with these receivers when really they aren't participating with each other?
Yeah. We're going to have to rely on, our investment that we made last year and all the time that we got, and really 6 extra weeks of practice and preparation and 3 more games. So, they've had a lot of time out here on the practice field together, but when they all get out here together, we won't have that bank of training camp, so we'll have to draw on some of that from the past.
What is it about that?
The way that Carson's looking in limited action in practice.
I think we're really pleased with what Carson is. I mean, he's right on track with everything that we've asked him to do, and You know, obviously you can see out here he's performing well when he gets his reps.
What are your expectations going forward in the next few weeks for him?
In terms of what?
In terms of Carson, in terms of his progression, timeline?
Yeah, we stick to the plan, like Coach has said all along.
What is it about that quarterback room that brings the best out of players? Carson developed into an MVP quarterback. Nick obviously had the MVP
Well, I
performance.
think there's you know, those guys are all competitive guys, obviously, but you know, they're unselfish too, and they're willing to share in there, and it's just, I think they respect one another.